Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. So I wanted to talk about Daryl and Connie's reunion and why I believe it's going to be happening in episode 8. Because obviously I've talked about it quite a bit and I've brought up some points here, but I do want to talk about it a little bit more in depth because it's something that it's going to be a big deal when it happens. And I actually do wonder if the reunion is going to feel a lot like when Carol and Daryl first saw each other in season 5. I think it was a season 5 premiere. That was a really awesome scene, and I just remember feeling really just emotional about it all. And mind you, back then we all thought that Daryl and Carol were going to be a thing. That was just sort of the belief then, and now it's more of, no, they're just best friends. But Daryl and Connie, when they see each other, is it going to go the same way? Can it go the same way? What if Leah's there? What if Leah is literally standing right beside Daryl? How is that going to go down? If Daryl runs up to Connie and hugs her and it's done in any type of romantic way, like Leah's going to be like, what the? She's going to be suspicious immediately. She's going to wonder what the hell's going on here, right? And so this is definitely going to be something that they deal with in the second part, it seems like. This is why I know that Leah is not going to die anytime soon, just because there is going to be this love triangle situation going on, and Daryl's going to be right in the middle of all of it. It's almost going to be like a love quadrangle, but not in that sense. It's just going to be this conflict of Connie doesn't like Carol or something like that, or there's tension there because of what Carol did to Connie, but then Daryl and Carol are going to feel a little bit better, but maybe Leah's a little jealous of Carol and Connie. You know what I mean? There's going to be this whole thing there that if Carol is helping Daryl in any way, saying Connie's really nice, Leah, I would watch out for her, that could piss Leah off. And so, yeah, it's all going to be super exciting, but obviously it's going to start off with Daryl and Connie's reunion here. So let's talk about that. Obviously, before we go any further, make sure to be a subscriber if you want more Walking Dead content like this. And as well, this is going to contain spoilers for episode 6 of The Walking Dead. So if you haven't watched it yet, go watch it, come back, check this video out. But let's talk about this reunion. So I really do believe that it's going to happen in 8. Connie is likely not going to be in episode 7. Based off of the trailer, it doesn't seem like Alexandria is the focus at all in this episode. It seems like they're going to take a break from it, but it's going to be the big and major storyline of episode 7. I guess along with the Reaper stuff, they're going to kind of go back and forth with that. They have to give the Commonwealth more story in episode 7 because the Commonwealth seem to be taking a pause, right? It doesn't seem to really be advancing any further in episode 8, though I do believe there's going to be a really crazy cliffhanger scene at the very end of the episode. And so the question that you do kind of have to ask yourself, and that will say a lot right there as to whether or not Daryl and Connie are going to reunite in episode 8. And that is Daryl going to make it back to Alexandria at the end of episode 8? Most likely, he's not going to be at Meridian going into episode 9. That's a little too much. I just don't see that happening. If it is the case and they don't get into it right away, I definitely would be disappointed. Overall with this arc, I want a little bit more than that. I can see where this is going, but I want the payoff in episode 8. I don't want to wait until the second part. And so just based off of that, I really do believe that Daryl and Connie are going to see each other again in episode 8. And I think it's going to happen at the end because I do think they're going to deal with the Reaper threat in that episode. Daryl's going to travel back with Maggie, with Negan and Elijah and Leah. They're all going to travel back to Alexandria. We're going to see it in ruins. I mean, they could be traveling back. Oh, Father Gabriel's there too. They're all going to be traveling back, maybe with Eldon's body or something like that. It'll be a really sad moment, but the Alexandrians will have dealt with a lot already, right? Because they're going to be dealing with that big storm. We may see some deaths on that side there. I think the walls of Alexandria will definitely be torn down. I think it's going to be in worse shape than it's already been in. And obviously Daryl and Maggie and them, the purpose of their trip was to bring back more supplies. I think they're going to come back with nothing because the walkers will have destroyed Meridian and everything, right? And so I think at this point, things are going to seem really dire, really bad. They're going to come back. It's going to be a really emotional and sad, last few minutes of the first part here. We're going to see Daryl arrive back to Alexandria with everyone. And then I think that's where he'll see Connie there. And then it's just going to be this crazy reunion scene, very emotional. Leah's there. There's going to be a bunch of conflict. A lot of stuff's going to happen here. There's everyone's going to be a mess. I don't know if you can picture it playing out this way, but this is how I see it playing out. I see Daryl, Maggie, Elijah, Negan, Father Gabriel coming back with Alden's body. They're all sad. They have no food or supplies. They lost so many people out there that they left with a ton of people. They're coming back with just this, right? And they have nothing. And then they come back to Alexandria. The walls are torn down. There's walkers everywhere because of the big storm that they just dealt with. And they're also just like completely like just ruined and feeling like just death. And then they come back, and then there's just this feeling of like, we're done now. We have to move on. But that's where Daryl's going to see Connie. We're going to get that emotional scene. And then, I mean, does it play out like it does in season 5, like the Carol and Daryl's reunion scene? I don't see it, honestly. And I think if it did play out like that, it would be, I mean, I guess it could play out like that. I don't know. Imagine Leah's reaction if she sees Daryl like start to cry a little bit and like run up to Connie and give her a hug. Right. And it's like this emotional hug. Like, I don't know how that's, I mean, I could see that playing a role in the sense of it being a cliffhanger, right? Like we do see it happen. Daryl starts to cry a little bit and like he goes and runs to Connie and then they both hug each other. And then Leah's kind of looking like, what the hell is this? Right. And then at the same time, someone's like, oh, look, something's coming. And then that's where we see the Commonwealth in those wagons show up to Alexandria's front door. And they're just like, oh, hey, we've come to meet you. And then we see like Eugene and a bunch of other people there as well. They finally make it back to Alexandria because I believe that they're going to learn the location of Alexandria in episode 7. I think they're going to learn a lot there. And that's going to be how everything ends here. It's going to be a really insane final moments, big cliffhanger. And then when we go into episode 9, it's sort of like that's the setup right there, right? I think Daryl and Connie's like a reunion, the feud with Leah as well. That's going to be the exciting part to watch in episodes 9, 10, and so on. And then we also have the Commonwealth threat and just like dealing with that and also trying to rebuild Alexandria. There's that, right? We have to rebuild Alexandria now. So there's like, I could see how all of it is going to be set up. Honestly, I can see it all laying out right now. And I do think Daryl and Connie's reunion is like it's the big part of it. It's the big emotional part. It's gonna, if it wasn't for this, the Commonwealth arc and the Leah stuff literally wouldn't matter as much. It wouldn't make it so complicated, but Daryl's gonna have to deal with all of these different things. And like, not even that, there's the whole Judith thing. Like he has to watch over Judith. There's just so much going on. This cover right here of Rick, this is issue 180. This is basically going to be Daryl right here. Rick at this point in the comic, Andrea just died. Andrea was his wife. He just basically lost Alexandria. They were trying to rebuild. It wasn't in such a dire situation as Alexandria is on the show, but they were trying to rebuild. The hilltop was just got absolutely burnt down and destroyed. So they were also really trying to rebuild that. And he was just mourning the death of his wife, Andrea. At the same time, he was also dealing with a lot of stuff with Dwight and Sherry, because Dwight was very suspicious of Rick and believing that he was turning into a bit of a dictator like Negan was. And then like Sherry did die because Sherry was trying to kill Rick and Rick just defended himself, which led to Sherry's death. And then Rick was trying to say it was an accident and Dwight's just like, I'm sure. Right. So Rick was dealing with so much stuff there. And then that's when the Commonwealth show up. And like this shot of Rick here, he's just like, okay, what's this now? Right? It's just like it's one thing after another. It just like seems like the problems just don't go away. And I think this is going to be Daryl. I think this would be a really cool final shot, to be honest. And yeah, I mean, I honestly, I'm really excited to watch episode 8. I really cannot wait. It's like less than 2 weeks now. Isn't that crazy? In 2 weeks from now, we'll have watched the entire first part of The Walking Dead. There's only 16 episodes left. We're 1/3 through it. That's just nuts. But we have World Beyond and Fear the Walking Dead, right? That's definitely something I'm really excited for. World Beyond is going to be getting into some of the Jada stuff. I'm really excited for that. And Fear Season 7 looks really great. So anyways, I'm going to leave it here. When do you think Daryl and Connie are going to reunite? Where do you see it happening? And I guess, yeah, like what episode do you see it happening in? Post all your thoughts down below. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.